Tomorrow, the Scotland community in Potomac will celebrate Juneteenth with a heritage festival that honors their past and future. We first shared a series of stories about this historic enclave back in February. In the summer of 2019, a catastrophic storm nearly knocked its church off its foundation. But with faith and favor and funds, Scotland AME Zion, the little church with a big history, is being rebuilt and restored. The reach of the area that surrounds the church extends beyond just one stretch of Seven Locks Road. A familiar park where many of tomorrow's activities will take place also shares a deep connection with its founding families too. Tucked away in the woods and green spaces of Cabin John Regional Park are stories waiting to be told.
This park has a really rich history, and it's connected to the history of the Scotland community. Some of the land that Cabin John Regional Park is on now originally belonged to people who at the time lived in Scotland, and some of this parkland was acquired. I want people to learn about the resilience of the community that's been here for generations and made this area their home.
So it is fitting that as Scotland comes together for a second year to affirm freedom and reflect, this park is central to the celebration.
Having this community that's been here for so long reach out to us and tell us that they wanted to celebrate Juneteenth in Cabin John Regional Park, which is their backyard, we were more than happy to say yes.
We're going to have every one of our players wearing a Scotland Eagles jersey.
During the time of Jim Crow and segregation, black residents in Scotland and across the county often heard the word no. With few places to gather, those residents found community around black sandlots. Baseball was everything.
It was particularly the center of civic life in the black communities of Montgomery County. It was the church, the school, and baseball. You went to church in the morning on Sunday, and then you went to a ball game. Everybody was there. The preacher who preached in the morning was at the game, and the bootlegger was in the parking lot selling his stuff.
There was always somebody sitting around, 2 or 3 people, with the trunk up, selling beer.
That's 89-year-old Eddie Dove, a living legend. He and the Scotland Eagles soared back in the day.
Mostly I played third base, a little pitching, and catching.
I hear you had quite an arm at the time.
I did.
And Eddie, whose grandfather bought some of the first land to create what would become the Scotland community, recalls a game he will never forget.
This wrist is still swollen from that game. We were playing the night game in Gaithersburg with a place was called Emery Grove. I go back to get a pop fly, and I misjudged the pop fly, and I fell on the slippery mildew grass.
On Juneteenth, Eddie will throw out the first pitch of the game, played here at Povich Field on the grounds of Cabin John Regional Park. This was him a couple years ago, along with Bruce Adams of Bethesda Big Train Baseball.
Baseball is our platform, but building a stronger community is our purpose.
For 25 years, Bethesda Big Train has trained young players and raised money to fix fields for kids across the area, all while sharing stories about those black sandlots. The Juneteenth Classic, named for one of the best players to come out of the county, Clarence Pint Israel, is one way to do just that.
Discrimination, it was not just hurting people of color, it hurt us all. It diminished the lives of all of us. I was missing out on something amazing because my community didn't recognize this other community. And I didn't get to see the superstars play at Johnson's Park in Emery Grove.
And when I was in high school, we went to Baltimore and played the high schools in Baltimore. The diamonds were laid out like this.
Eddie Dove is one of the greats, carrying the legacy of talented players who kept moving forward on the sandlots and in life against all odds. And late last month, Negro League Baseball and Major League Baseball merged their statistics in the record books. And finally, Negro Leaguers are getting their due, but sadly most are no longer here to receive it. By the way, the Juneteenth Classic, in honor of all those legends across the country and even here in our community, will be played at Povich Field from 7 to 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. And then just after the game ends, a fireworks show, really a first for Montgomery County, will over the field will close out the festivities, a parting gift of unity and heritage sparkling in the skies.
What a great story. I can't wait to see Eddie Dove.
Eddie's going to
Let's
be
see that
so
arm tomorrow,
great.
huh?
He's so understated.
Yeah.
I kept saying, you're one of the greats. He said, you came out here to talk to me? And we said, yes, of
Yes,
course we
Mr.
did.
Dove, yeah.
So thank him and so many of those legends who made it possible
Yeah.
for a lot of the baseball players we see today.
I'm glad he'll be part of that tomorrow.
He
as
sure
well.
will. He sure will.